All right, welcome to the Ash Cash Show. Welcome. So, welcome to the Ash Cash Show every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com to subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you go to ashcashtv.com to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm gonna give some shout outs because we have some supporters already who are sponsoring the show. And so I just want to salute to the sponsors. So salute to Jordan Emmanuel. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you to Carmela Mosley. Thank you so much for promoting the show or supporting the show. Reginald Thomas, thank you so much for supporting the show. We got my guy Basilo Moreno. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Kimberly Funchess, thank you so much for supporting the show. Then we got our superstar VIP, Davida Arnold. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you want to support the show, please go to the ashcashshow.com and under the ashcashshow.com, there is a support button. Please hit the support button. And once you hit the support button, you will be able to support the show on a monthly show, on a monthly basis. Again, go to the ashcashshow.com, and when you go to ashcashshow.com, right in the middle, underneath the show, you'll see something that says support. Right, there's a button that says support. And then you'll be able to support the show. It's literally 99 cents. There's a $4.99 option. There's a $9.99 option. And it's really just about, if you're able to support it. Thank you, Curly Hair. I love your podcast show on iTunes. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So this is what this is. So actually on iTunes, all of these shows get podcasted into or this audio gets put into a podcast format, but then we have the bonuses that we put out every Saturday. So definitely go to the ashcashshow.com to subscribe. But then also if you could go to iTunes, Twitter, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you consume your podcast, you'll be able to support, or you'll be able to subscribe as well. But then also I need y'all to go to ashcashtv.com. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. We are moving right along as it relates to we're close. I want to say we need another 130. I forget how many we need, but we need 1,000. The minimum, right? The first hurdle I want to get past is this 1,000, right? So once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I then want to go to 2,000, and eventually, we want to get thousands of thousands. I want to get a million subscribers if we can, but we definitely want to make sure that people subscribe to the podcast. So please go to ashcashtv.com to subscribe. All right, let's start the show. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you. Welcome. If you're back, welcome back. If you know if you know the way the show goes, I'm forgetting the words. The way the show goes is first segment of the show is inspirational word of the day. Second segment of the show is us going over financial news. And then lastly, we open it up for any questions that you may have. So if you are watching this on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Periscope, please put your questions in the bottom. If you're watching this on Instagram, please put your questions in the question box, because it will be easier for us to be able to answer your questions by seeing what's in the question box. So please do that. Let me just go to Facebook real quick to make sure that my sound is good, money.com. And then once that happens, we can start with the inspirational word of the day. And we are goodmoney.com. Thank you, Cassandra. She shared it on her page. Belinda M. Alvarado is watching on Facebook. So thank you to my Facebook folks for always sharing it, always sharing on the page. So I appreciate y'all. All right, let's start off with this inspiration word of the day, right? So the inspirational word of the day, which is actually kind of touched my heart early this morning. And so I don't go to Twitter as much as I should go to Twitter. And I posted this post that said, you don't inspire others by being perfect. You inspire them by how you deal with imperfections. You inspire them by doing the best you can every single day, right? And so I want to say this to everybody, that right now, today, is not the time to try to do anything perfect. You have to do it ugly. You have to. You have to. You have to do it ugly. You have to get to the point where if a dream was put inside of you, pause, you have to go along and just execute that dream. Les Brown, my mentor, it's funny because people say we look alike, but Les Brown once said that there are more dreams that die in the cemetery than any place else, because people are always trying to figure out what perfection looks like where that it doesn't even exist. Perfection is false. It's a state of mind. There will always be something wrong with what you do. Always. But that's not the point. The point isn't to find something right, something wrong. The point is to execute the dream. If you execute the dream, you're executing because God, the universe, Allah, Buddha, you were given a dream, so you have to execute it. And so I'll read the quote again. You do not inspire others by being perfect. You inspire them by how you deal with your imperfections. You inspire them by doing the best you can every single day. And so back to my Twitter question, right? So I don't go to Twitter that much. And so I went to Twitter the other day, yesterday actually, or early this morning. And then when I went to Twitter, I saw somebody tag me on this post, right? Carved and Stoned Ink. So this is the website carvedandstone.com. And so when I looked at the post, it said, For the City Vendor LLC has secured 2 locations in Milwaukee and is looking to gain many more around the city and country. And so I was like, let me take a look at this article, right? And so fast shout to Naisha Stone, right? Naisha Stone wrote this article, and it's this young man, right? So it says the sight of a young black entrepreneur successfully accomplishing their goals will never get old. Milwaukee entrepreneur did his due diligence in research and is now executing his plan. So salute to Avery. Salute to my guy, Avery Smith. He is the owner of For the City Vending LLC and has secured 2 locations for his vending machines at Wolf Dry Cleaners and Laundry, 1354 North 7th Street, and Maxwell Lofts, 214 East Florida Street. So this is a young king who was able to start his business. He did his due diligence. He didn't wait for perfection. He just made it happen, right? He said, I'm trying to get as many as I can, Smith said about expanding his business around the city, then Chicago, and eventually the rest of the country. Before the city vending, Smith found himself working all the time without much time to spend with his family and doing other things he enjoys. I love my family. I want to be around them as much as I can, Smith said. Smith saw Kashif Edwards online, who was going through the same thing, a lack of time to enjoy life because of work, inspired by the path that Edward took, right? So listen, Fast shout the Kashif Edwards, because if Kashif wasn't living out his dreams, then Avery wouldn't have a blueprint for him. You know what I'm saying? So he was inspired by Kashif. So fast shout to Kashif Edwards, right? And so, Smith dove into researching the vending machine industry. According to Technavio, the vending machine market is expected to grow by 9.82 billion, right? By 9.82 billion during the next 4 years, right? Sometimes I can't sleep at night because I be up researching, he said. Now let me tell you what Smith. This is what touched me, right? Let me tell you what touched me. So, including in his research was reading the book Hustlenomics, right? Including his research was reading the book Hustlenomics, Money, Ownership, and Business Lessons Inspired by Nipsey Hussle, and a step-by-step guide on how to implement each principle by his mentor, Ash Cash. According to Smith, the 30 minutes it took him to read the book helped him get over his hump and change his mindset. After reading Hustlenomics, Smith conducted cold calls to secure locations, I'm about to cry, which resulted in a lot of no's and people hanging up on him before he can even get his message out. Smith has a big heart, and it hurt him when people rejected him. Yet, guess what he did? He kept going. After he secures 5 to 7 locations in Milwaukee, he'll be venturing out to Illinois. Smith's father and grandfather were entrepreneurs, but Smith said he had to learn on his own how to make it as a self-made man. When I was trying to find my purpose in the world, no one would really help me out, he said. Here's the other one. Smith is big on educating oneself, and one of his ways of doing this is by listening to podcasts every day. Some of his favorite podcasts to listen to are Earn Your Leisure, Salute to the Kings, the bro gods over there, and the Ash Cash Show, which airs every morning from 7 to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Right? No matter where you are from, you can do it, Smith said. If you quit, you're taking the easiest way out. Never stop. Smith also offers ebooks, consultations, business plans, writing services, help for finding vending locations, and how to get your own vending machine. Yo. When I tell you, salute, salute, salute. When I tell you that touched my heart, and the reason why it touched my heart, because you might be inspiring somebody that you don't even understand who you are inspiring. Milwaukee, I've never been to Milwaukee a day in my life. I've never been to Milwaukee a day in my life. I have never been to Milwaukee. And so my point in bringing that up is not to brag, though, right? Because I want to show the link. We got Kashif Edwards. First, we got granddad, dad, Kashif Edwards, Earn Your Leisure, the Ash Cash Show, and Hustlenomics. You got all of these things, right? It takes a village. We have all these things. So imagine if one of those folks decided to not follow their dream. Yo, I am so proud. Every time I see what Earn Your Leisure is doing, I am so proud. Like, their success is my success. I remember having conversations when I first met Rashad. I remember having conversations about the podcast. And to see where it's at right now is mind-boggling. And when I say mind-boggling, I'm not saying I'm shocking. I'm saying it's not a shock. It's Troy and Rashad and the team over there put their mind to it, and they put their grind to it. They work hard for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was mind work first. Imagine if Kashif Edwards didn't do his due diligence in order so there wouldn't be an Avery Smith. And now Avery is paying it forward. And so what I'm saying is you got to live your dream. The Ash Cash Show was an intuition. I had this idea for a long time, in full disclosure. I had this idea to do the show for a long time. And for a long time, I was waiting for perfection. I was waiting for a studio. I was waiting for CNN to call. I was waiting for Revolt to call. I was waiting for BET to see the vision. I was taking meetings with people. I was waiting for the big websites. I won't name some of them because I still work with them. I was waiting for the big websites. I was pitching it to the big websites. I was like, yo, you got a big following. Yo, put this on there every day. Let's rock. I was waiting for them. And nobody said yes. They were saying no. They all said no, actually. And they all said no to a point where COVID-19 forced me to do it. And so I listened to my intuition. I first started going live. And then after I went live, I said, you know what? Let's do this Ash Cash show. And now, I'm getting messages all the time. Whether it's in the comments, whether it's in my DMs, whether it's email, whether it's on Facebook, people are sharing it. People are loving it. And if I inspire one Avery Smith, I'm good. If I inspire one Avery Smith, I'm good. But I know there's others out there. And so my point is this. Whatever dream you're sitting on, you are being selfish by sitting on it because it ain't about you. It ain't about you. If you're sitting on a dream, you are being selfish by sitting on that dream because it's not about you. There are people watching you. There are people depending on you. There are people hoping that you keep going so that they could keep going. You are somebody's inspiration. Somebody you don't even know. Somebody that follows you who never spoke to you ever before in their life is waiting on you to keep going. They're waiting on you to throw that dream out there. They're waiting on you to see that dream blossom. They're waiting on you. And so if you're sitting on that dream, you are being selfish. You are the most selfish person ever by sitting on that dream because it's not about you. The universe didn't get you through what you got through just so you could sit there in your head saying, yes, I could do it, but let me wait. Wait for what? You don't want your ego to be bruised? You care what people say? That's what it is? Your ego is more important than helping somebody else's life. Your ego is more important than honoring what God in the universe is telling you to do. You're being selfish. I'm not holding no punches. If it applies, if it don't apply, let it fly. Right? You're being selfish though. You're being selfish by waiting on that dream, by holding on to it, by coveting it. That's not why it was given to you. It was given to you because you have to execute the dream. And the truth of the matter is that as you execute the dream, then you'll be given guide on which way to go. So stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. Stop letting your ego win. It's all ego. That's the reason why you're not doing it, because you're afraid to fail. And when and being afraid to fail, you care what people say. But the one thing I'm going to tell you is that failure is not failure until you give up. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is that failure is not failure until you give up. Meaning that when you attempt to do something, and if it doesn't work out, now you know what not to do and you do it over. That's it. I've failed more times than I've been successful. I told y'all, when I put out my first book, I edited that. I edited it 8 times. 8 different occasions people told me there were mistakes in it. But I put it out anyway. Hustlenomics took me 2 months to put out. About 8 weeks. Start to finish. If I would have gave up, right, the first person, I think it was a professor, the first person that gave me criticism on my first book, if I would have gave up after that, there would be no Hustlenomics. I had somebody tell me that I thought was a friend. I had somebody tell me, yo, why you keep writing books? You need to give up. because my first, like, we were having a conversation. It was somebody that I looked up to as a mentor. I was like, yo, this is my mentor. And the reason why I looked up to that person as a mentor, because they had these successes in life and they were part of circles and things of that nature. And I was like, yo, you know what? I want to aspire to be that. And so what happened was they were like, yo, how many, I was actually in the process of releasing my second book. And they were like, yo, how much did your first book sell? And I was like, I did like 80 copies. And they laughed. They laughed at me. They laughed. And they was like, 80 copies? Yo, why are you even writing a second book? Yo, you just give up, man. Just stop writing books. You should focus on, right? They were telling me I was good at other things. That's what they told me. They were telling me I was good at other things. They was like, yo, why don't you, keep doing X, Y, Z? Keep speaking, right? You're a great speaker. Right? Keep sending out your emails. I love your emails. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, I didn't listen. I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't listen. And the funny thing about it, come full circle, I'm going to tell you the funny thing. The funny thing about it is that on book number 4 or 5, I think, book number 5, I finally hit the bestsellers list, right? Actually, book 1 I re-released. So let me be clear. Book number 1 I re-released and hit the bestsellers list with that. But then by book number 4 or 5, I had hit the bestsellers list like twice, I think, right? And the same person I actually helped put out their book. Go figure, right? So the reason why I'm saying that, though, is I could have easily gave up after the first book, because I would have looked at myself as a failure. I actually had people I respected telling me I failed. Right? But at the end of the day, I ain't doing it for that. My ego, I'm good. I have no ego. I will do whatever. I will look however. Because I have facts. It's a fact that if I try it, I will be successful, period. Because I don't know when to give up. I do not understand how to give up. Like we locked in now. Ash Cash Show is the Ash Cash Show. We locked in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to give up. So stop being selfish. That's the word of the day. Stop being selfish. The dream was given to you. So execute that dream today. Whatever that first step is, do it today. Do not wait. Do it today. All right. That's my word of the day. All right, today we talk about the markets and finance news. The markets were up on all spectrums, right? So we got NASDAQ was up 1.11%. S&P 500 was up 0.65%. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 0.59%. Gold was up 0.70%. 10-year treasuries was up 7 bips, and oil was up 2.14%. Housing is plunging, is taking a dip. And so existing home sales have plunged 9.7% in third straight monthly drop. And so this is according to CNN or APnews.com. Existing home sales in the U.S. plunged 9.7% in May. It was the third straight month decline and further evidence of the harm that the virus pandemic has done to the housing market. The National Association of Realtors said Monday that the monthly decline pushed sales down to a seasonal adjusted annual rate of 3.9 million, the slowest pace since a home buyer's tax credit expired in October of 2010. And so they do, right? The housing market does predict that it may bounce back. But the big question is that how is it going to bounce back? Is it going to bounce back like a V shape? And so we talked about what a V-shaped economy is, meaning it starts high, it dips low, and then it just rebounds up. Or is there going to be a lag in the recovery? Some experts say that the housing market is probably going to dip 20% this year, but we'll see. We'll see. In other news, Dow futures briefly sunk 400 points as Trump trade advisors declare China trade deal over, then walks it back. So U.S. stock index futures Monday night briefly skidded by more than 400 points after White House trade advisor Peter Navarro implied to Fox News in a late Monday interview that a hard-fought trade agreement that was signed with China in January had been terminated by President Donald Trump. Later, Navarro said his comments were taken out of context and the Phase 1 pact remained in force. Trump also tweeted that the agreement was intact. And so, speaking of Mr. Trump, the 45th President of the United States yesterday signed an executive order to suspend some employment-based visas through the end of 2020, which includes H-1B visas for high-skilled workers, H-2B visas for non-agricultural seasonal workers like hospitality, and L-1 visas for internal company transfers. So Trump is also extending a temporary ban from April that restricts some foreigners from getting green cards, right? Senior officials told the Wall Street Journal that the order will block 525,000 people from entering the U.S. this year, including 170,000 green card holders, right? And so his reasoning is that unemployment is at 13.3%. The administration wants to prioritize getting American workers back on payroll. Critics argue just because a job is open doesn't mean a domestic worker can fill it. Tech companies and business groups have criticized efforts to curtail H-1B visas, which each year allow 85,000 high-skilled foreign workers to bring their talents to the U.S. economy, especially in STEM fields. I don't know what your thoughts on that. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, because I could go either way. I get it. I understand why, but then at the same time, it could be hurtful to the economy, right? And so at the end of the day, it's important that we look at both sides, because at the end of the day, I think that also just means that here in America, we need to be training ourselves on STEM, right? Our children should understand that, because if there are positions within the U.S. that can't be filled by U.S. people in the U.S., then there's a gap. And what happens when that continues, to linger. So just wanted to put that out there. And then speaking of Donald Trump and things lingering, Donald Trump says that Americans will get a second wave coronavirus stimulus check and hints the next stimulus package will be very generous. Right? So President Trump has said Americans could get a second stimulus check amid the coronavirus pandemic, and that the soon to be announced package will be very generous, in quotes. Taxpayers were given a one-time sum of $1,200 as part of a $2 trillion stimulus earlier this year, but for many who have been unemployed and had salary cuts, it hasn't stretched very far. The Democratic-led House passed a $3 trillion HEROES Act in May, calling for another payout for cash-strapped workers, but Republican-controlled Senate has been opposed to it. The House proposed in May, including nearly $1 trillion in relief for state and local governments, a second round of payments of $1,200 per person, up $6,000 per household. About $200 billion for hazardous pay for essential workers and $75 billion for corona testing and contract tracing. The House also proposed an extension of $600 per week federal unemployment insurance benefit through January. The provision approved in March to set to expire in July. But Trump made no mention of unemployment benefits in Monday's interview. Approximately 35 million Americans were left jobless due to the pandemic, which saw cases reach 2,300,000 on Monday and deaths hit 120,000. The HEROES Act included $170 billion in rent, mortgage, and utility assistance, subsidies, and Special Affordable Care Act enrollment period to people who lose their employment-sponsored health coverage, and more money for the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, including a 15% increase in maximum benefits. All right, so be on the lookout for that. As I say to everybody, make sure that you are doing the right thing with that stimulus package. So if that stimulus package is very generous, let's make sure that we're doing the right thing. Chantel 2020. Good morning, Queen. Exactly. Remind everybody to vote. Chantel 2020. So today, and thank you, right? Thank you so much, Chantel, for jumping in, because it is a primary day. So in New York as well. So make sure that you are voting. Chantel, I'll let's if you want to go live, we could go live later on after the show. Appreciate you. So let's go live. Let's talk about some politics. Cause are you on the ballot today, Chantel? Let me know. Cause New York is New York is voting today. So make sure y'all vote. You know what I mean? Let's make it happen. So New York, Kentucky, who else? All right, so Chantel's on the ballot. So yeah, we gotta go live. Let's support the Queen, right? Let's support the Queen. So if you're in New York, we'll go live. Let's go live. And Chantel is on the ballot. Drop in the comments what ballot you on though too. Cause we got New York, we got Kentucky. Let me try to see what other states are on the ballot. Cause so Georgia was last week. Let's see. All right, so we got Virginia, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, and New York. So those are the 6 states, right? 6 states that have voting going on. Virginia, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, New York, and Kentucky, right? So salute to the Queen. So if y'all in the Bronx, or if you know somebody in the Bronx, Chantel is running Assembly 79th District in the South Bronx. So make sure y'all support the Queen. I worked in the South Bronx for a while, doing some financial education work. And the South Bronx is one of the poorest congressional districts in the country, right? And so we need the people. So make sure you support Chantel. Chantel Jackson, Assembly 79th District of the South Bronx. Salute, Queen. Jabari got my vote in BK, so salute to that. Had my masks, gloves, and hand sanitizers. BX in the building, insurance in style. I lived in the South Bronx. We'll share. Yeah, please share. Make sure y'all support. All right. All right. So I also let's see. I found this story interesting, and then we'll open it up for any questions that you got. Little baby busts Walmart for selling fake gold for PF chains. And so little baby discovered Walmart selling fake 4-pocket full jewelry, and he's not happy about it. The quality control music artist called out the retailer for offering bootleg chains featuring his 4PF brand on Monday. Walmart got me effed up, he wrote in Twitter. Multiple versions of 4PF chains are available to purchase on Walmart's website. The seller is listed as Weekend Gifts, Inc. The cheapest 4PF item on sale is $24.99. And so the reason why I put that up there, is because I'm not sure if 4PF is a trademarked or not, right? And so if it's not trademarked, there's actually nothing he could do about it, right? If he doesn't have a trademark on his company, not the name, right? If he doesn't have a trademark on his company's logo, then there's a possibility that Walmart could very well get away with it, right? And so I'm bringing up this story because I want y'all to make sure that as you are creating your brands out there, as you're creating your businesses, you say something catchy, you got something that is that could help people, make sure that you are securing not only the bag, secure your trademark as well. Ash Cash is a registered trademark of Ash Cash Enterprises. Look it up, right? There are other people that use the moniker Ash Cash. I'm cool. You start making money off of Ash Cash, I might send you a cease and desist. It depends. I might. Right? Because you have to make sure that you're protecting yourself. So, fast out the little baby. Hopefully he has the chain and the mark trademark, so he could potentially sue Walmart. But if not, then people still gonna be selling those Fugazi shades. Look it up. All right, I'm opening it up for any questions. That is my news for today. Salute Janae Malloy. Salute on Facebook. My sis Rhea Keefe in the building. Salute on YouTube. We got Butterbeans Cool 811. Salute. My guy Guy Jazzy Rainey. Salute Guy. Thank you so much, King. Always sharing the word. So salute, King. Thank you for sharing. Rhea Keefe says, we're all so glad you didn't listen. We needed all of those books. They've saved me from myself financially. Nah, I love you, sis. I appreciate you. Shelton Johnson, salute on YouTube. We got Taryn G. Salute. Yes, we must vote. We got Iris Palmer. Great morning, Ash. Thanks so much for sharing the truth. No, salute. All right. So we're going to open it up for any questions. This show is big. Jazz, I appreciate you, Jazz. Thank you so much. All right, let's see what questions that we got. We're going to go to the question box first. My guy, the young Poppy. What up? My guy, Avery Smith in the building, man. The young Poppy. Our Mind Right mogul. Good morning, King. This is Avery Smith. I just want to say thank you so much for getting me over my hump. You changed my whole way. I gotta read this whole thing. You changed my whole life. I closed on my first real estate. I can't see what else you have over there. I closed on my first real estate. I didn't see, but yo, the young Poppy, salute, King. Yo, you don't even understand. Reading that article touched me. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me realize. I mean, I knew this, but to see it live and direct, to get your flowers, definitely made me realize how important it is to never give up. You know, how important it is to keep going, because sometimes people are watching and you don't even know they're watching. And you don't even know how much how you're walking in what you're walking in is saving people or helping people. So salute, King. Love you, man. Keep going. I appreciate you, and keep rocking it out. Salute, King. Salute that man. So we got Mompreneur ATL says, what's the difference between trademarking your logo versus your business? And so you really can't trademark your business. You're trademarking a logo, a term. You're trademarking something that is that you want to use for something, right? So you can't trademark your business, meaning that if, like, let's say Ash Cash Enterprises is registered in 2 states, right? So I'm registered Ash Cash Enterprises in 2 states, right? If somebody in a different state, because LLCs or registrations are state specific. And so if somebody wanted to register Ash Cash Enterprises in North Dakota, they could have an Ash Cash Enterprises LLC in North Dakota. That could happen, right? But if let's say I register Ash Cash Enterprises as a trademark, then anybody who registers something that says Ash Cash Enterprises, then I could sue them because it's a registered trademark. Similarly to like Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola is registered, I don't know what state is the primary registration, but Coca-Cola is a registered trademark. And so if somebody starts a business called Coca-Cola in a different state, you can now sue. Now they can sue them because of Coca-Cola. So for me, I didn't want to register Ash Cash Enterprises because, I want to register Ash Cash, right? And so I registered Ash Cash, and that's registered in the whole United States because that's federally, right? LLC is a state to state, but that's federal. If I find out there's an Ash Cash Enterprises anywhere else or any business named Ash Cash, whatever, I could potentially sue them, right? Because they're using a registered trademark of Ash Cash, right? And when you register a trademark, you're registering for a different class. And so if let's say I'm registered Ash Cash as a for financial services, right? And somebody opens Ash Cash Winery, then that's not an infringement of my trademark. You know what I'm saying? Like they could do Ash Cash Winery because I'm registered Ash Cash as financial services, if that makes sense. And so you trademark a phrase, right? So let's say I wanted to put Ash Cash on a shirt, then I gotta make sure it's Ash Cash for entertainment, Ash Cash for shirts, Ash Cash for educational. Right, so each thing that you use the term for is different classes, and so you don't trademark your business. You trademark a term, you trademark a picture, you trademark a logo. So that's how that works. For instance, I'm still in the process of trademarking Mind Right, right, and I can say it because nobody could jump ahead of me. Because my application has been in there for going on 2 years, so I'm going back and forth. Because what I'm saying is that, and I don't, there's other people out there that use it like Mind Right for I think there's like a Mind Right Body Tight or something like that trademark out there already. But so trademarks are industry specific. Because what I'm saying is that my company is called Mind Right Money Management, so I have Mind Right Money Right, I have Mind Right Credit Right, Mind Right Grind Right, Mind Right Right. I don't want somebody, let's say a financial advisor says, "Oh, I love this Mind Right thing, and I want to come out with a book called Mind Right Invest Right." And so people might, because people know my company as Mind Right Money Management, somebody might say, "Oh, Mind Right Invest Right is dope. Let me do that." And they write the book, and people think that it's my book. Right, and so that's the reason why you want to protect yourself, because you don't want no one to be able to infringe and make money off of something that you worked hard on. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great question. Jazz Harrison in the building on YouTube says, "Good morning, good brother. Sorry for the late check-in. How do you feel about investing in Barrick's Gold Corp right now during uncertainty in the market? I currently own 400 shares." I've been asked about gold and precious metal, which I believe is a good investment. I personally am not advising anybody. I want to get the experts in because I'm not advising anybody to invest right now if they're not liquid in other things, meaning they don't have cash in other things. Because at the end of the day, I feel like we still don't know what the effects of the coronavirus, the economy, and all that stuff is going to happen. And so I rather people have money available so that if the economy does tank, you could take care of your necessities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm for taking care of your basic necessities. And so, but yeah, I do, I keep saying this, and it's my bad that we haven't jumped on here yet, but my guy Ian Dunlap and I are going to do a live, and we're going to talk about, investing and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. But I appreciate the question. And I'll have the answer for you. Let's see. Here's a good question. Jack the third says, What's better, trust to operate out of revocable or irrevocable? I don't think there's a better. I just think that it depends on what you're trying to do, right? And so obviously, a revocable trust. Rosa Garcia, what's up? What's up, Queen? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So a revocable trust means it's revocable, right? So if you have a trust that you want to protect something in right now, but you want the ability to change it, right? So let's say you have assets inside a trust, and you want to have the ability to change that trust whenever you want to, then you would make it a revocable trust, right? If you have some assets and the way you set up the trust and you want to put it in that trust, and you want to make sure that nobody, not even you, if you know when you die, not your heirs, nobody could change it, then you make it irrevocable, right? And so that's really depending on what you want to do, right? Some people might say, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll give you a prime example. Let's say you have a trust, and your trust, you want to put your assets to all of your, to pay out your heirs, let's say. But let's say, years down the line, you adopt kids or whatever, and you want to add somebody to that trust. If you have a irrevocable trust, then you can't ever change it. Only the kids that are on there could get that. But if you wanted to, if you're like, maybe I want to change it, maybe my kids ain't acting right, I want to change it and donate to a cause or whatever, then you have revocable. So it's not that one is better than the next. I would just say that it's, it depends on what you want. Let me see. Fast shout to Melon Tatted God Body says, got a children's book that teaches young ones Spanish. Let me know if you want to try it out. If you have friends with kids, tell them to DM me. Fast shout to that. Stevens Bros Tax Service says, what's the difference between a trust and a will? And so that's a great question, right? So a will is short for last will and testament, right? And so a last will and testament means that these are your wishes. Like once you die, these are the wishes. This is what you want to happen, right? And so you put it on paper, and you say, yo, this is what I want to happen, when I die. What happens is that like, let's say somebody has so like, let's say you have your personal, your personal belongings and assets, and then now you want to divide those assets to your loved ones and to different causes and things of that nature. And so you write a last will and testament. The problem with a will is that you could contest, right? You can contest wills. Wills get contested all the time. Meaning that somebody might say, yo, he or she wasn't in their right mind. And so that's why they wrote that. Or, I know the will said it goes to these people, but, he had kids right here that he didn't account for. You know what I'm saying? She had kids that she wasn't taking care of, or, I was part of this. And so you can contest a will. A trust is different. Because a trust is a different entity, meaning that a trust is not even your assets anymore, right? And so if you take money and you put it into a trust, now the trust is its own entity, and the trust has its own laws that governs it. And so nobody could really go after a trust because a trust is not even attached to you. You could be the trustee. You could be the person that is in charge of the trust, but it is not your assets anymore. The trust owns the assets unless you transfer the assets from the trust back to you, right? And yes, and Martisia, salute to Martisia, who also says that a will goes through probate court, so it's public knowledge. And that's a great point. I thank you for that, right? That's why I appreciate my Mind Right moguls for the assist. Right. And so a will is public. And so because it goes to probate court, that's public. And so anything that you put on that will, people will be able to know that. And so a trust is not public. So to your question, Stephen, how can you avoid probate court? You open up a trust, because a trust is not public, right? It's its own entity. It's like opening up a business. It's private, and then you could keep, you can have your assets, held and protected within the trust. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate that question right there. We got a few more minutes, and I got a bunch of questions. So, I appreciate your content, King. I learned so much. I am a full-time entrepreneur. Fast shout to Curly Hair Queen 21. Drop your links down in the bio, or drop your links down below so people can support you. Tell them what you do. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Cloud 3 Vision says, should I trademark my logo and name before launching my business? How long should I wait? You actually have to launch your business first before you can trademark it, because part of the trademark process, contrary to popular belief, part of the trademark process is to show that you've been using it as commerce first, right? So for instance, when I trademark Ash Cash, I had to give my attorney like copies of things that I've done and proof that I've made money off of the name Ash Cash. I had to when I tried to trademark Mind Right, I have to prove that I am using Mind Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have to you have to do it. So I would say launch it first, and then once you've made some money off of it, then I would try to trademark it. Let's see. V Good Energy says, do you offer trademark services? I do have an attorney that I use that does. So my attorney does offer trademark services. So if you're interested in that, hit me in the DM, and then I could connect you with my attorney. Flo Coolest says, when your term life expires after 30-year term, do you just lose the money you're investing? Great question. Go to mindrightinsurance.com if you want to quote. So yes, it really depends, right? And so a term life insurance policy is similar like auto loans, auto insurance, right? It's like, we call it like just in case, you know what I'm saying? So like when you pay Geico every month, right? You pay Geico, Allstate, State Farm every month. And if you don't get into an accident, you never get that money back. It's just in case. Just in case, you get into an accident, then you'll be covered, right? So traditional term life insurance is similar like that, right? It's similar. Like if you don't die in 30 years, then you were covered. But there's two things you could do. You could either get an automated renewable, right? Or automatic renewable, which means after 30 years, you get it renewed, right? Or you could also have, there's term life insurance policies that pay you back your premium, so that if you don't die within the 30 years, they pay you back your premium. And so those obviously are going to cost a little more than the regular term life, but there are guaranteed renewable term life insurance policies, and then there are policies that allow you to get back your premiums. So go to bondrightinsurance.com if you want to quote. But then we also got Insurance and Style in the building. Hit her up as well. All right, Coach Tay. What up? What up, Tay? Thank you for tuning. I got a minute left, so let me go to your question. It says, what can we teach our students in school to prepare them for financial success? Great question. Teach them entrepreneurship, period. In school, teach your students how to be bosses. Because everything you need to learn about managing your personal finances, you learn running a business the right way. If you teach them how to run a business, then you're teaching them finances. And I'll jump on that tomorrow because my time is running out. But that's my answer. Teach them how to run a business. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Ash Cash. Make sure you go to ashcashshow.com. Sign up for the podcast. Go to ashcashtv.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, same time,